In case anybody's thinking about it, nobody has punched me in the eye but the fates themselves. But the fates are not going to get the best of Nostrovini. He who dwells within me is going to talk about the world at large. We're regurgitating a lot of stuff that these newspapers that have been running around my house and not being read enough. Because Nostrovini's not feeling good, as you can see by my eye. As I got pink eye. Big guy's got the best of me. Now this is not seeing eye to eye. This is about that the black rapper who is a Nazi, and that we kind of look past it because we say, well, he's crazy, and he's bipolar, and if you're bipolar and you're crazy, we could say, and you're sometimes if you're black, if you're a minority, or just just a very talented guy. And he's a talented guy, but he's nutty as a hatter. He had his girlfriend go to the wards naked and to assert his sexual, and she wanted to wear a pretty dress. But he said, no, you're going to be, I'm your man and I control you. And he says, not that I don't think that men should control women, but I kind of think we should because they're unstable. But you can't be unstable and unstable on top of unstable. She should have said, look, you, I want to wear a pretty dress. And I don't want to be naked at the wards like it's a nudist. You yai. And then of course, he's pro-Nazi and he has a Nazi shirt on. Now, this is not logical. But he's not logical because the Nazis weren't exactly, favorable to black people. They got really mad when Jesse Owens beat them at the Olympics. That's a movie. And they said we shouldn't have been involved with the Nazis and all these dictators, but then there would have been no Jesse Owens story. So it worked out that we went there, and Jesse Owens proved that the black man was the equal and sometimes the superior in terms of physical, athletics. But I don't think as much as I used to think. When I was young, I thought the black people were the superior athletes. Now I see my Eastern European brothers, they're competing competitively. It's just that in the United States, a lot of people they don't go into athletics, the white people. And I think we're not as good as certain athletes. Anyway, that's it. Stop being a Nazi. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's this? Oh, Mayor Adams, who's aligning ourselves with my great leader. She's my great leader. In fact, that's Mr. Trump. To get rid of the illegal criminal element of the illegals. Yes, and he's going to help. But that means they were going to prosecute him because he's a bit corrupt. He's been turned. He was bought out by the Turks, and in his whole administrations, everybody's taking a handout. Oh, it's a corrupt administration. But he said that he isn't a messenger from God. Well, God knows how he's going to keep his job because now the Democrats are turning on him because he's helping Trump. And the Trumpies are saying, you better help us or, you're going to do some time. Oh, he's in a bad situation. And you know what else? He's going to run on the GOP line if the Democrats don't let him. But I don't like it because he'll be going against Curtis Weaver, the guardian angels of my youth. I was never a part of the Guardian Angels because I was a wimp, but they were these young men who, and a little tiny bit of women and Curtis's wife, who was a karate expert, and they patrolled the subways and kept them safe. And the lunatics weren't in charge back then, but they're coming back to the Guardian Angels. They're old. They got a little decrepitude and a little arthritis. But those old bastards are going to the subways again, and they may break a hip defending us, but it's good. The courage is timeless. It's true. Oh God, line. What's going on? Trains, moms. What? Train. Oh, a schizophrenic. One of my people. She ran away from home, but she was pregnant. It's beautiful. Schizophrenic. She came to the city and she disappeared for a while. And then she had a baby on the subway. Now, usually when you have a baby and it's not in a hospital, it's usually on the cab is rushing to the hospital. But this was on the subway. She New York City subway, which means that the baby, when they grow up, and they might be schizzy too, because sometimes it runs in the family, they'll say, "I was born on a train in New York City, and in one of the worst times to be in New York City on a train. Maybe it should become train lady." Train girl. What? Oh, de Blasio got now a girlfriend. She's young. And de Blasio is my age. Well, should I approve of me an inappropriate thing going with the whole young lady? That's good, but de Blasio almost destroyed the city of that giant bastard. And he had a girlfriend, he had a wife that was a little tiny lesbian person, former lesbian, but with the Blasio, she was straight. She had two kids, and she got $1 billion for the homeless. Well, I don't know. Maybe she has a luxury place. Maybe de Blasio has a luxury place, because I didn't see any of the money going to the homeless. Corruption! What? What's this? I can't read it. Uh, double. Your law dumpling? Oh, love. Pets trains up her. Pet trains up her. Well, I don't know what it says. I can't read it. Oh, let me see. Let me see. Oh, Pete turns up the heat. Now I'm going to tell you something about you Europeans. You don't even have freedom of speech. Yeah, it's a dictatorship, and you can't even criticize the left-wing commie governments there without going to jail or getting a fine. Well, let me tell you, you Marxist bastards, America's not going to defend the world for you, the Russians, so you can have your own liberal dictatorship in the Western Europe. It's not gonna happen on my watch. You're gonna have the voice of Vinny, the voice of very free Vinny, the voice. That's what you're gonna have. Yeah, got me worked up. Ooh, I got a black eye. Nobody hit me in the eye. I just dirty. Oh, what's this? Gotta go put the glasses on again? Oh, you know how there are a lot of horny girls who have weight problems and they can't get the hoopy doopy that easy? So they pull it out. Yeah, that's been all the time. But now with this new medicine that makes you lose weight, they're getting pretty and they're getting picky and they're losing the hots. So that's not good. Now, what about for average guys who want to get the hoopy doop? They can't do it now because the women are getting picky because they're getting pretty. Well, let me tell you something, pretty lady. That only lasts for so long. One day you're gonna be old too, and then you'll want the hoopy doop all the time, and then we won't want it because we don't want it. We'll spite you just like you spited us. I'm not bitter. I'm you. I'm just vengeful. Oh, where's us? Sipping. Oh, you know what guy did? He was in the grocery store, and his camera's all around. Pointed the camera on the man and he slips. But he didn't really slip. He slipped and he makes believe he slipped so he can sue the people. That's not good being. That's a grocery store. You gotta have food for people. Oh, oh, a mess. That's the Adams. He says he's on a mission from God. No, well, he because God's using him to help the city get away from the criminal element and the psychos that they're letting loose from Venezuela. Now, Venezuela used to be a nice place until the commies came. And the commies came and they destroyed the dictatorship. And then the commies let all their criminals, which were a pretty nasty bunch, out to the United States and also some of their lunatics. Well, this is not going to go. You know what we're going to do? We're going to put him on Guantanamo, and we're going to put him in a Salvadorian prison. And like, it was scary. It's like something out of a movie. Ooh, E.T. not so far. The aliens might be all around us. They did a calculation, and usually they said, well, it would be very highly unlikely that there were many civilizations and developed intelligent life. Well, let me tell you something. They did a new calculation. This place would be brimming with aliens. But why don't we know that? Because they don't want us to know that. Because they're snotty. Well, let me tell you, Mr. E.T., we're better than you. That's right. We got art, we got wars, we got all kinds of interesting things to do with. Well, you got your big old head, you went with the universe. Well, maybe the universe loves us more. What do you think of that? We haven't had an asteroid hit us for long. Maybe the universe is taking it easy. I hope so. I got plans. I must be boxing. What? E.T. baby woman. What the hell is this? Baby What, mommy? That? I don't know what it is. I don't remember. They had an Ebola scare, and people were worrying. All folks said, "Well, that happens to my people when my people are old, and they were going to have Ebola." And I'd be scared of Ebola. I wasn't scared of COVID. COVID just is like a little sneezing fit, like a little flu. But Ebola will melt you. I'll get melted. I won't like that. You better not do it, God. If you want to wipe out other people, you don't me. Because we got a contract. The contract says that Vinny lives his life as long as he can, and without interference from you. Mythbusters, please. The myth that America is gonna let all these snotty communists in this country. They are not gonna get in this country. My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing. Where my father died, land where will beat your high.